Hawks 132-130 in overtime yesterday. Kyrie Irving commits a late foul. That sends Trae Young to the free throw line. He sinks the game-winning shot. Kyrie had 41 points in this loss. Luka finished with 22. The Mavs have now lost 3 straight, 7 of their last 8. Dallas, guys, sits a full game out of the play-in tournament, not even the playoff picture. Shannon, do the Mavericks make the play-in?
They're reeling, Skip. They just can't stop anybody. They gave 132 points yesterday. Everybody, with the exception of Kyrie, kind of struggled offensively. Luka was 8 of 21, 3 of 12, 22 points. He and Kyrie alternate. They take turns scoring 40 points, and they still lose, Skip. But here's your recipe not for success. 30 in rebounds, 30th in offensive rebounds, 30th in second chance points, 30th in points in the paint, 29th in steals, 29th in fast break points, 28th in blocks.
23rd in overall defense.
So what you expect?
Yep.
At some point in time, you've got to stop somebody.
Yep.
So when Luka is shooting the ball as poorly as he is, or they're struggling offensively, and the other team is in the layup line, how do you expect to win if you're struggling, but the other team is getting whatever they want? And Kyrie is low-hanging fruit, so you're going to blame Kyrie. I'm blaming Mark Cuban. Because you didn't even make an attempt to sign Jalen Brunson. And maybe he was going to go to the Knicks. I think his dad's on the staff now. Maybe that's where he's going.
And they're in the playoffs.
Well, maybe you should have put his dad on your staff.
Maybe.
And tried to sign him.
Maybe.
Because maybe you saw you got to the Western Conference Finals. But you thought, you know what? We can do it without him.
Yep.
Really? That's what you thought? Well, they're worse off. And look, Skip, who thought, like, when they traded for Kyrie, man, they traded for Kawhi in his prime, a two-way player, a guy that can go get you 20, 30, and also can clamp down the opposing team's best player. Is that what they thought they signing Kyrie? We know what Kyrie is. Extremely skilled offensively. As good as we have at the offensive end in the NBA. Layup package, second to none. Handle, second to none.
Yep.
3, mid-range, free throw, at the rim, beautiful. But who they guarding? I want to know who Luka, Kyrie, Dwight Powell, Josh Green, Hardy, Kleber, Christian Wood block a few shots here and there. Skip, he only weighs 107 pounds. So they back him down in the paint.
Yep.
It's defense. At some point in time, you got to stop somebody. And they can't stop anybody. I think I might get like 6 points. I get 6 and 3 against them. And I'm 55, about to be.
This is just like Golden State. I watch closely, and I'm in awe of how bad they are, and they cannot figure it out. Mark Cuban is all about box office, and obviously Kyrie plus Luka is much bigger marquee box office than Jalen Brunson plus Luka, because Luka is going to be the star of stars, and Jalen Brunson is going to be the also-ran, which actually worked. Because Jalen Brunson doesn't have Kyrie's sort of superstar ego of, I need the ball, I'm going to shoot the ball.
Correct.
So the guy who is unhappy with this is Luka. The point is, he was the preseason favorite to win MVP. Am I right?
Yes.
And now he looks like the LVP, like least valuable, because he talked about last week, I'm just not having fun anymore on the basketball court. Listen, Atlanta is not very good. They're a 500 team.
Yes.
They came into the game below 500.
Right.
And then I'm watching and I'm thinking, surely this time they'll just take it over, because the firepower between Luka and Kyrie is off the charts.
Yeah.
The problem is there's only one basketball. If you let Dallas play with 2 basketballs and they could both be creating their own shot at the same time, they'd be pretty hard to defend, right?
Yep.
The problem is, in the fourth quarter, somebody has to take the shots, and it's a close game, and I'm going to read you the stat again because it only gets worse and worse by the game. Now they played 2 overtimes together, but in the fourth quarters and now 2 overtimes that Luka and Kyrie have played together, Kyrie has attempted 92 shots to Luka's 43 shots. That's almost twice as many. And the point is, it just keeps going in that direction. And Kyrie has, to his credit, scored the second most fourth quarter points to, guess who? De'Aaron Fox. That's why the Lakers have had trouble with him, because in the fourth quarter, he just goes off on the Lakers.
He's unbelievable in clutch.
Yes, he is. He is very clutch. So is Kyrie.
Yes.
Kyrie was making shots yesterday that I just said, that's just too good.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, now they're going to pull away. Now they're going to pull away. And they couldn't keep Atlanta off the boards, and Capella would tip one back in.
Right.
Or somebody would just
Kyrie, again, yesterday had 14 points in the
fourth quarter.
He only took 5 shots. Luka took 3. Luka had 4. Go ahead.
Speaking of the 14, I believe we have all 14. If we could just see what happened.
It was
Plus
sensational.
Yeah, this is where you say, this is and one stuff.
Look
This is
he spins away from the double team. Look at this.
Stop it. That's too good. If you're in the park, you just say, that's too good. That's pretty good. That looked like a Tony Parker memorial.
Yeah, look at this.
Up and under.
Look at that.
And guess who? Guess who?
I mean, come on.
Okay, come on. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. Here he goes again. Unstoppable.
His layup packages, nobody had a layup package like that.
He can hang. That was the 2 points he scored in overtime. So you look at it and you say, well, how did you not win the game? Well, it wasn't Kyrie's fault yesterday because it just got worse and what he scored more and more. But then what happened in the overtime? Kyrie was just 1 of 3, and Luka was 0 for 3 and took the last shot, which I'll get to in just a second. But here's the point. When it was time to make a play on defense, to your point, again, they're ranked 23rd in defensive efficiency, which is horrible for a team that you would consider a contending team. Then here's the foul call that lost the game. And again, Trae Young said it was an accident that he actually stepped on Josh Green's foot, but here Kyrie just ran him over. Well, you got to be a little more careful than that because I think I'm calling a foul here.
Yeah, you should.
I think I'm calling a foul because he just ran him over. And again, Trae said, well, that he accidentally stepped on the foot of Josh Green before crashing into Irving. I just got in Kyrie's way. Well, you can't play out of control on defense and just run him over because he is going to get 2 free throws.
Yes.
And one thing, I'm not a big Trae Young fan, but he can make his free throws.
Yep.
And he's a good clutch free throw shooter. So he went swish, swish. And that left Luka with a desperation heave. If we could see it, it looked for a second like it got.
It was online.
Yeah, it looked like it was a little online. It was a little left. It just hit back iron, a little left, but it had good distance on it. He got it away cleanly, and it was just slight. It was about 2 inches to the left, too far.
But Skip, they still had a chance to win the game. JaVale missed the 1-and-1. Christian Wood missed the 1-and-1.
Christian Wood missed both.
But, he missed. Both.
He missed both. Yeah. And then JaVale gutsed it up because he missed the first one. It's hard to make the second.
Skip, Atlanta only played 9 guys. 7 of them scored in double figures.
Well, we both talked about how JaVale can be very.
Yes.
He can be like a force for them. And to Jason Kidd's credit, he went with JaVale. Like he played him a lot.
Yeah, he gave you 11 and 6.
Yeah. Okay. He gave you 11 and 6, and he stuck with him down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Didn't he play JaVale quite a bit?
Yeah, he played 23 minutes.
Okay, all right. So he's trying. Jason Kidd, he's another one who's going to.
Oh, he's on the hot seat.
He's on the hot seat, and somebody's going to say at the end of the year, well, somebody's got to go here because I'm with you. Mark Cuban did this. Somebody has to take responsibility for the big picture.
I ain't blaming me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's he
blaming me.
It's like Jerry Jones. Is Jerry going to fire Jerry Jones? He's not going to fire Jerry Jones.
No.
So Mark Cuban is definitely not going to fire Mark Cuban. So here we go again. The Mavericks just feel dead in the water now because they're going backward, and I just don't see how they're going to survive this because they're now a game behind Oklahoma City. Man, I'm just not sure. I don't have a good feel for them because they've lost 7 out of 8 at the very worst time. 3 in a row at the very worst time.
They got their next 3 games are at home. They got Sacramento at home on Wednesday. They got Chicago on Friday, and they got San Antonio on Sunday. Okay, those first 2 games, those teams will not quit on you. Oh, no. They're going to come to play, both of them. Oh, that's going to be a 135, 140 type ball game, Sacramento. Yeah. Because ain't nobody playing no defense. Both of them getting up and down. I agree. Chicago, you got your work cut out with DeRozan and Levine. They fight hard, man. And they have been such a good road team that at the very best, you might go 2-1, but I don't think you're going to win all 3. No. And if you don't win all 3, I think you're going to miss. You're probably going to miss the play-in. Whew. What a disaster.
Yeah, I think they're out of racing room, guys. There's still a statistical chance, but a lot of things would have to line up right.
Yeah.
All right. So a team, though, that everything seems to be lining up for in the perfect way, the Lakers. Will Anthony Davis be able to take the Lakers all the way to the finals? Let's discuss on the other side of this break.